welcome, fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers. It appears to be Star Wars week this week at the EOG, because here we are opening yet another Star Wars game from Fantasy Flight Games. Yes, that purveyor of plastic madness. And this time it is a fleet level spaceship combat game. And this is just the core set, but as you can see, it's huge. It's as deep as the Star Wars Imperial Assault box. It's huge. So let's have a look inside. I'll spare you all more singing of the Star Wars anthem by myself. I think you've endured enough of that. Let's see what we have. Now, unfortunately, one of these plastic windows again, which I find slightly annoying because, yes, it looks great on the shelf, but when you store it, you have a big gap in your box. Of course, you can get a piece of plastic and attach it to the bottom of this to seal it, but I do wish they'd just give us a big cardboard box which we can seal all our goodies inside. Anyway, let's look inside. Here it is. And the first thing that grabs your eye are those fantastic pre-painted plastic ships. There's 3 large ones in here. Now, I've actually had a look inside a copy of this before, and when I first opened it, I was a bit shocked by the air inside the box, because when you lift this out, oh dear, look at all that space. And then you get these things here, but all the rest of it, that's all space too. Let's just take this out. It's a huge piece of cardboard. Look at the size of it. And not counting the rules and some counters, which are there, that's it. It's a bit of a shock. Now, I can only assume what they're doing here is, because this is a miniatures game that will have expansions, and in fact already does have expansion ships, that they're giving you a nice big box to store them in. However, this is a very expensive game, and especially down here in New Zealand. So it is a little bit disappointing. I would like to see more ships in there. However, that aside, you can make your own decision about that kind of thing. That's completely up to you whether it's worth it or not. But what you get are these lovely pre-painted ships. I must be very careful removing this from the plastic. There we go. That lovely iconic design of a big space triangle. Then we have these 2 ships. I won't pop these out just yet, just in case I do damage to them in my enthusiasm, but as you can see, they're very nice little detailed ships, and there's the same ship that we have in very large format for Star Wars X-Wing. Now you also get a bunch of little squadron ships. These ones aren't pre-painted. You do have to paint them yourself, which is a bit of a shame, but it would be a very fiddly job to have them pre-painted, I imagine. There's some little TIE fighters and some little X-Wings. Very cute. Then we get the fabled range ruler, which is made up of various bits, and cardboard bits goes in there, so that has to be constructed. And we get some dice. Again, so I've heard online, a little bit stingy with the dice. We could probably do with more dice, but that seems to be the way of the future. Then we have various stands. These are quite complicated looking things. There's a few of them there, and that's because various dials go into the side for tracking information during the game. Then we have some cards. X-Wings, Luke of course. It's those. Then these seem to be some unit cards for the large ships, the CR-90 Corvette, Nebulon B Escort Frigate, Victory 2 class Star Destroyer and Victory 1 class. And finally, some smaller cards. This appears to be the damage deck. And various upgrades and extras there. Now let's have a look at the rulebook itself. There it is. It is two different rulebooks. As usual these days, the rules reference book and the Learn to Play book. Learn to Play book is 24 pages long. And the rules reference book is 16 pages long and pretty much wall-to-wall text. We've got 3 sheets of counters. And finally, here's all the ships you get in the core set of Star Wars Armada, all put together and looking quite spectacular. There's quite a bit of tricky engineering going on in these bases. A lot happening really. You can see in these little squadron bases there's a little push piece here that shows whether you've activated it for the turn, and there's a little dial. Over here on the larger ships there's a dial built into the base that you attach on the base, like so. It keeps track of shields on the 4 quadrants of the ship. And they're quite beautiful really when they're all put together, and I can see that probably a lot of the sticker price of the game goes on putting these together. And of course you have that Imperial cruiser looking suitably threatening. Very nice indeed. And that's about it. That's all you get in the box. But the proof is in the pudding of the gameplay, and we'll see how good the game is. These are lovely figures, but it's a huge box and it's got a lot of space in it. But let's play it, see what it's like. As usual, a rules summary and reference will go up on the Esoteric Order of Gamers as soon as I get a chance. That's at orderofgamers.com. And remember, there's a Twitter feed, there's a Facebook page, there's a Google page, there's this YouTube channel, of course. There's all kinds of stuff so you can keep in touch with the Esoteric Order of Gamers and see all the things that are coming up on the site. So thank you very much for watching this unboxing of Star Wars Armada.